Shin. Vayigash. We are on the third reading. We continue with Yosef, the viceroy of Egypt, reveals himself to his brothers. He reveals himself to his brothers that not only is he alive, but he's the second in command in the land of Egypt. And God has sent me here to take care of you. All right, let us continue. Chapter 45, verse 8 in the book of Bereshis, Genesis. Ata now, loy atem shalachtem oisi. And he repeats what he said previously. It's not you that sent me, Hena, down here. Ki elikim, but it's God. And he has placed me as a, of means a father. That means he translates here as a counselor, right? Okay, that's means like a colleague, a counselor, lefare to Pharaoh, ula'adin, and to a master the whole beisai over his entire household, and for a ruler over the entire land of Egypt. Rashi, number 8, love to father, meaning lechaver, lefatrin, to a patron, a counselor. Now he says, Maharu, quickly, make haste, va'alu, and go up, El Avi, to my father, Ba'amar Me'elav, and you should say to him, Kayamar bincha, so says your son, Yosef. So Amani Elikim Ladin, God has placed me as a master l'chol Mitzrayim over the entire Egypt. Reda Eli, come down to me, Al Tamid, and don't stand. In other words, don't tarry. Lavi, go to my father, Eretz Yisrael, Gavaya Mikol Artzos. Why does it mean to go up? Why are you going up? Because the land of Israel is higher than other lands, including where they are right now in Egypt. Verse number 10, and you will settle in the land of Goshen, and you'll be close to me, you and your children, and your children's children, and your flock, and your cattle, and everything that belongs to you. You'll be close to me. And I will provide for you there, because another 5 years, Rav, there's going to be a famine. Pentivaresh, lest you become impoverished, you become poor. Ata, you, and your household, and everything that you have. Rashi on the word tivaresh, so he says its meaning is, according to Unkelis, dilmatis maskein. Maybe you become impoverished. Loshen meirish umashir. It's a term that God impoverishes and makes rich. Just showing an instance where it's used. In other words, here it means to impoverish. Verse number 12. Hine, and behold, einechem ra'os, your eyes have seen. Ve'ene achi Binyamin, just as the eyes of Binyamin have seen. Kipen amidaber aleichem. Kipi amidaber aleichem, that I am speaking to you. Right, that I am speaking to you. Now, this is not a mirage. This is not, fake news. Yeah. Rashi, behold, your eyes see, my glory, and that I'm your brother, I'm circumcised like you, and furthermore, for the mouth that is speaking to you, but I'm speaking to you in the holy tongue, meaning in the language of Hebrew. He's speaking to them. He got it to him. As he wants to make certain that they don't have any doubt. And you shall say to my father, it's called Kvaidi, you tell him over of all of my honor. I've been in Egypt, and everything that you have seen. and you should hasten. Avaradatim is Avi Hena, and you should bring down your father here. Huh. Before it was to go up to here. Now it's going to bring him down here. In other words, that's the usual way you speak. So therefore, I thought the issue. When it says to go up, we don't have the booklets. You have to look in the Chumash or on your phone. Vayipol, and he fell. Yosef fell al tzavre Binyamin, on the necks of Binyamin. That's literally, we say neck, but it literally means necks. Achiv, his brother, V'yevken, he cried. Binyamin bacha al tzavarav. And Binyamin, he cried on his neck, right? So they embraced. He pulled out Binyamin and he fell on his brother Binyamin's neck and he wept. Al Shnei Mikdashes, why did they weep? So you would think that they wept because, the brothers, they're full brothers and they are reunited. No, that's not what Rashi says. Al Shnei Mikdashes, over the two temples. Shasidim liyez b'chelkei Binyamin, that are destined to be on the portion of the tribe of Binyamin. And in the end, it will be destroyed. Right. So, in other words, Yosef sees in the future there'll be two. That's why it's plural, two necks, because there'll be two holy temples in the portion of Binyamin, and they're going to be destroyed. Right, and therefore he's crying. And Binyamin wept on his neck, singular. Al Mishkan Shiloi, over the tabernacle of Shiloi, which is destined to be in the portion of Yosef, in the tribe of Ephraim. And it too will be destroyed. So each one's crying over the other one. A beautiful sikha of the Rebbe on this. Which, when we have time, we can maybe go. Vayinashek, and he kissed Kol Echav, to all of his brothers, V'yef Galeim, and he cried upon them. V'achechein, Hibra Echav Itai. And afterwards, right, only afterwards, his brothers, they spoke to him. Right, the whole time it was Yosef talking. They didn't say a word. Afterwards, Rashi in 15, after they saw that he was crying, and his heart was whole with them. In other words, he had no hard feelings towards them. The brothers spoke with him, because at the beginning, they were ashamed before him. After all, they did sell him into Egypt, right? Akol Nishma, and the voice was heard, base para, in the house of Pharaoh, Lamor, saying, Bo Achi Yosef, that the people were saying in the house of Pharaoh that the brothers of Yosef have come. V'yita be'enei para, and this was pleasing and this was good in the eyes. But he was pleased in the eyes of Pharaoh, be'enei avadav, and of his servants. Rashi Akol Nishma base para, and it was heard in the house of Pharaoh, meaning in the house of Pharaoh, and here it means literally in the house. And Paro said to Yosef, say to your brothers, and do as follows. Tanos be'irchem, load up the animals, I'll fill it up with produce and go down to the land of Canaan. Rashi Tanus Birchem Tvua. What does it mean to load up the animals with produce? 18, who is avichem, and take your father vezbatechem and your household abo eli, and come to me. Pharaoh is saying, bring them down to me. Etna lachem, and I will give to them is called tov. At time, I will give them from the best of the land of Egypt. V'yichlu is a chelav aretz, and they will be able to eat from the fat of the land. Rashi in 18. It's two Eretz Mitzrayim, the best of the line of Israel, which is Eretz Goshen. Niba Para prophesies, Vena Yedema Niba, and he didn't realize what he prophesied. Why? Shesefan, because in the end, Israel end is to make Egypt like a deep water that has no fish. So what he's doing here is unbeknownst to him, he is prophesying that the Israelites would leave Egypt when they empty out, when they take the riches, the wealth from Egypt. So the deep water without fish, in other words, commonly the deepest parts of the sea. Because fish are not commonly found in the deepest parts of the sea. They're more surface, right? So that's a metaphor that you're taking away the wealth because there won't be any fish. There's no fish there. There's no wealth left in Egypt. So that's what he is prophesizing without recognizing that he's prophesizing. 19. Ata to Zois, and you should command this to Zois also, and this is what they should do. Chu lachem, take for yourselves me'eretz Mitzrayim, from the land of Egypt. Take for yourselves agolos, wagons, the tapchim for your children, to transport them, right? On the sheichem, and for your wives, and asasim is savichem avasim, and you should also bring your father this way and come. Rashi atatzuvesa mipi lehem, say to them, this is what Pharaoh, this is what he wants. Mipi from Elohim lehem, tell them. So yisasu kachem lehem shivrushu. So tell them that this is being done with my permission, right? All of this is being done with my permission. Go and get this done.
Whose permission? Pharaoh?
Pharaoh's permission, yeah.
Why did Pharaoh give wagons? He his own gave the wagons, right?
Huh? Yeah. Why?
Bizarre. Bizarre.
Yeah. All right. Al tachlis is kleichem. Why not? Listen, Yosef is his viceroy who's done only but good for him. This is his family, so he's going to make Yosef happy. So, why wouldn't he do it? Right? Al tachlis is kleichem, and don't don't worry about your belongings. Because all of the best of the land of Israel is there for you, it's at your disposal. And so they did, the children of Israel. Yosef, and Yosef gave to them agolos, he gave to them wagons, in accordance to Paro's dictate. V'yitin lehem tzed laderech, and he gave them provisions for the journey. L'chulam nasan ish chalifas tzmoles. Yeah. V'yitin lehem tzed laderech, and he gave them provisions for the journey. The kulam nasan leish chalifas tzmoles, and each of them he gave a set of clothes. Well, the Binyamin, but to Binyamin, nasan shalosh me'as kesef, he gave 300 pieces of silver. Chamish chalifas tzmoles, and he gave 5. Yeah. So to Binyamin, he gave 5 sets of clothing, right? Well, Aviv Shalach Kizois, and to his father he sent the following: Asara Chamayrim, 10 male donkeys, Naisim Mituv Mitzrayim, that were carrying of the best, the finest of Egypt, the Eser Asenes, and 10 female donkeys, Naisis Bar, that were carrying grain, Lechem Mazal Aviv Liderech. That's why I said it's nice as a bar. So also bread and other types of food for the father's journey, meaning for Yaakov's journey. Okay, 23 in Rashi. Shalach b'zayis, he sent like this, b'cheshbon hazeh, and this amount. Umau cheshbon, what's the amount? And as the verse continues, asara chamerim, 10 male donkeys, and so on. Matuv mitzrayim, from the best of Egypt. But, but Talmud, we find in the Talmud, sheshalach loy, yayin yashin, vintage wine, shedazikinim neichim, because the mind of the elderly are calmed down by vintage wine. And Midrash Agada, and the Agada says, greasing shapul, split beans. So obviously we need to know why is Rashi bring this in? The simple meaning of the text. How do you see this? Bar v'lechem, Gitargum, understood according to Onkelos, grain and bread. Umazain, liftin, relish, things that are eaten with bread. Interesting. Hmm? Yeah. So we need to know, excuse me, how Rashi sees that in the simple meaning of the text, right? 24. Yeah, we're all aboard. All right. We're taking off. And he sent off his brothers, and they went. And he said to them, Yosef said to them, as they're leaving, Al tirgizu baderach, do not, the word roiges, here it says, don't be hurried on the journey. It really means agitated. Let's see Rashi. Okay? Why do I tell you that? So you know the root word, right? Rashi in 24, don't become agitated on your journey back home. Meaning, don't become involved in halacha so deeply that the trip should not become a source of agitation for you. Yosef wanted his brothers to return as fast as possible to his father. So don't get involved in a halachic discussion. Okay, yeah, so don't get involved in halacha because when you get involved in it, then you start, debating and arguing and so on. We might delay the trip then, right? Davar acher, alternative explanation. Al tafsiya psiya gasa. Don't take long steps. Sheikonsu b'cham aliyir. When you enter the city and spend the night in sunlight while it's still daytime. Otherwise, you're going to get quickly and you're going to come to a town and you're going to spend daytime there. Hmm. Okay. Well, if he should the third explanation, and Rashi gives it the last one, which needs to be understood. But according to the simple meaning of the verse, Yesh Lemar, we could say that what it means, right, that you shouldn't quarrel because they were ashamed of what happened, what they did, right? They were worried. Maybe they're going to quarrel on the way. Also concerning the matter of his sale. These the same said that each one's going to dispute over with the other one. Laimar say, he was sold because of you. You spoke maliciously, lashon evil about him. You cause us to hate him. That's what's going to happen. The simple explanation why Rashi gives the other ones and gives this last needs to be understood. Okay, verse 25. Yalu and Mitzrayim, and they came up from Egypt. Yavoy el Eretz Canaan, they came to the land of Canaan. El Yaakov Aviyam, to Yaakov their father. Yagidu loy, and they said to him, Lamor, saying, Oy, Yosef Chai, Yosef is still alive. Kihu Maishel Bechol Eretz Mitzrayim, he is the ruler in the entire land of Egypt. Yafik Libai, and his heart went out. Ki lo yamin lahem, because he didn't believe them. Rashi. Kihu Maishel, Asher Hu Maishel, that he is the ruler. Next Rashi. Yafik Libai, his heart. A turn of heart. Nechlaf Liboy, his heart was transformed. V'halach min lahamin, and it went away from believing. For the Ishaya Liba Bina Dvarin, because his heart did not turn to the words. Lashon Mefigan Taman, where Mafiga means their flavor. He's giving an example. Flavor turns. Another it means to turn. Lashon Mishnah, come on in Pugais. Pugais. Gamar. Just bringing different examples that it means to turn. Last verse. Love. So they spoke to him, the brothers. It's called Divrei Yosef, all the words of Yosef, everything that Yosef had told them, that he spoke to them, and he then saw the agalos, the wagons. Asher Shalach Yosef, that Yosef had sent. To carry him and to bring him. And Techi, and he lived, the spirit of Yaakov, their father. In other words, he was revived. 27 Rashi. It's called Divrei Yosef, all the words of Yosef, Simin Matzah Lehem. What's all the words that he sent? So Yosef sent the brothers a sign. What Torah study were they involved in when he separated from Yaakov? What was the last thing that they were studying together? Right? Father and son. Rufa was the passage and so what were they studying? The Parsha Zegla Rufa, the calf of whose neck is broken, when there's a murder that has happened outside of the city, and you don't know who the murderer is. So there's this procedure of Zegla Rufa. And that's what it means when he saw the wagons. And then it says, because really the wagons were sent from Pharaoh. So why does it say that they were sent by Yaakov? They were Pharaoh's wagons. So therefore, Rashi says that he sent, meaning it was a message with those wagons that he's sending to the brothers and saying, hey, the last thing we learned about was Egla Rufa, which Egla comes from the word agolis, the same word as wagons. Yaakov, Ruach Yaakov. I'm saying the spirit of Yaakov was revived. Sharsa Olav Shechina. The Shechina, God's presence, came back to Yaakov because it had departed from him, and now it had come back. Yes.
Joseph sent the wagons, whereas it was Pharaoh who sent the wagons.
Right, and that's why Rashi explains what he sent was a message with the wagons, right? With the brothers. Hey, this is the last thing we studied together. Was Egla Rufa, what comes from the words, same root words as agalos, which means wagons, that we were speaking in our learning in this topic. Just to, should remember.
So it shows how Joseph has always been consistently reading into signs and symbols. Just like he read into dreams, he read
right.
into signs.
He sees everything as a metaphor for his connection to Hashem. Absolutely. Okay, beautiful. Okay, folks, we will see you in a few moments for Tanya. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.